priest, though.
Yo, I'm Teishi the Super Swordsman.
I'm Gandalf the White from Wildblades.
I'm Mikoto from Angel of Apocalypse, and this is our Ragnarok podcast. And today we're going to talk about our favorite places to hang out in the game. So
Just for when you're done leveling,
yeah,
and like you're not selling anything, it's just a place where you go and it's just you and your friends.
Just kind of hanging out.
Sit and chill,
yeah,
relax.
So there's a lot of different kind of places that everybody kind of likes to hang out with. So I want to start with you, Teishi. What's your favorite place to hang out?
Well, one of my favorite places to hang out for sure was Aldebaran, the clock tower city. This was later on in the game, though, not early stuff, but late game, because that's the place where most people would level up. And hanging out outside was kind of cool because you see the same people going in all the time. If you were like,
it became like a high traffic place too at some point.
Yeah, there was some high traffic, but not too much. It was still relaxed, but wasn't like Frontera level high traffic.
No, Frontera was on a whole different level.
You know what's like some entrepreneurial shit though was when people realized that there was higher traffic and then they would put their merchants there and put like white pots and shit for sale. Yeah, you'd make so much. Yeah, like the first people there made
white pots, fly wings, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, and like berserk pots, you'd have to go to whatever city to get.
Yeah.
Like they would get those, and they'd get the keys to open to
the
area.
Key the underground,
it was like, dude, like this guy, this merchant, he can charge me $50K for a key. Yeah. I'm gonna buy it because I want to go there.
Because usually the higher level, because usually the higher level characters would be there, right? The higher level characters would be there, so they have the money to spend on that, right? So
that lower level area was for like mobbing for nights, because it was like early on it was for wizards too. Like early on, like you had to have a key to go down to the area where there was.
It's the one floor below alarm clocks, right?
You go through that map to get there. I think, at least for me,
it's like on the outer skirts.
As a swordsman and a knight, I used the key to get down to the area where like this was late game too. Like I think it changed at one point, but there was a whole bunch of batteries, and it was just batteries in this
That's
one
where
area.
I remember batteries from.
And they were so like weak. Like they had no HP. Yeah. And they gave crazy EXP. And as a knight, you just got like a anything that dealt a demi-human damage, which you already had because all of us played PvP, right? And you just go and you bowling bash or you whatever the spear one was. It was just
I remember
that
I got confused between the first floor of Clock Tower, which was not batteries. Batteries weren't in it.
It was just like
clocks,
and like one
clocks. Yeah,
there was like nothing in that. Like the
first, ride words.
Yeah, like 3 of them. There was just nothing in there. It was just an empty map, basically. That was just like the map to get to places.
Yeah, it was like the conduit to the other ones. Yeah.
So batteries is the witches, right?
Yeah. The flying witches on the
broomsticks.
Broomsticks, yeah. I was like, but yeah, like my favorite place to hang out, like when I wasn't leveling or anything, was that area. Me and my in-game wife at the time, this is like from 8-10 years ago, would go and hang out behind the clock tower. It was just like us, and like only a few people would like go back there, and it's just like our little group. It was pretty sweet, and like the music in Aldebaran I really liked.
It'll come up on the playlist at some point on this podcast too.
So
most likely.
Yeah, and it was cool because like the clock would actually like turn around if you like moved your.
Oh, I didn't notice that.
Yeah, like the clock would actually go, and it was just kind of like a nice area, and it felt like you had to be kind of like at least slightly badass to like be there. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't like the other towns where you could just go there at like level 1 or whatever. It's just sort of like a higher level Frontera kind of thing. Yeah.
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah. No, I really like Aldebaran. What is one of my favorite Aldebaran?
Aldebaran. I'm not sure how you pronounce it, but
Aldebaran.
Aldebaran.
Yeah.
ALDE.
The alt. But yeah, no, it was a really good like nice little small place. Like really niche people wanted to hang out kind of thing. That's pretty much what it was.
Yeah, for sure. And it actually connected with the area where you'd go to War Imperium.
Yeah, exactly.
You go to, like
the south
of the west.
No, it's the left. It's the left side.
Was it left?
It was the left.
It was definitely west because the south was to the area where like Mistress and shit spawns.
Yeah.
It was west.
No, it's to the left.
Yeah.
So
but it'd be like a thin path, and then it just like broke up into the different pathways to go to different castles. It was pretty sweet.
Yeah.
That was pretty sweet. I would admit.
So you got.
How about you, Gandalf? What was your favorite place to hang out?
I'm gonna have to go basic bitch and say Frontera. Just because like all the guilds, like all the major guilds were in Frontera. Most of them. Like you had.
I feel like even if they did, even if they took over, like an Aldebaran castle or something, everybody would just hang out in Frontera.
Well, okay, well, so we would have. I think we used to be in. You know where the southern entrance, and then you can take a left. Like in the
Flower
first,
Girl.
Yeah, like around the Flower Girl area. That's where a lot of us were. And then the western wing, and then the the right exit. That's where Empire used to be. Yeah. They used to always show around there. So it was cool just because we all had our own quadrants of Frontera. But I also like hanging out in front of the castles. A couple of us used to hang out in if it was like an important castle that we took over. If it was like a big war between two of the major alliances, we used to hang out on top of the castles, just in the entrance. But rather than that, or I should actually say, where you would find me the most at the end of my RO career was in PvP. I used to hang out in PvP all the time. Like I'd just chill there all the time. And if anyone started anything, I'd either kill them, or if a party came in and killed me, everyone was like, the craziest thing about this game was so many people never did anything. We just chilled. We'd literally sit on the computer and just hang out in front of the computer and chat with each other. We never didn't necessarily do anything like leveling up, MVPing, nothing. We just kind of hang out together. So when I'd chill in PvP I was in there like a lot of time, like majority of my time.
I feel like a lot of the time in that game was
just hanging out,
not doing much of anything.
Once you were higher level, I was just like chilling. So then if I ever got killed by a party, I would try to kill them. If not, then I would just like message the Wild Blades and be like, "Yo, who's free right now?" And just like, boom.
Yeah. So for me, one of my favorite places to hang out is the South Field of Frontera. One of the main things is because I have this vivid memory in my head of staying up late, 4 or 5 in the morning, listening to that music that is in that field. I think it's like, it might be Streamside, right? That's the one. And just hanging out in that field and just kind of having, just talking. That was like the best thing. That was like the best thing. Just sitting there talking to people and just having conversations and just it's that music,
killing all the porings
and killing all the porings. Yeah, but see, that's also a big field that people ought to use, like Dead Branches and stuff like that too.
Yeah.
That was a very popular field for that.
You guys remember when the GMs would just randomly use them in all the cities, the major cities?
Yeah, but they used to do that like once a year or something like that, or like something like that.
It would be so random.
Kind of often later on.
Yeah. It was because I think they had a feeling that it was gonna go.
Hated merchants or something. They just murder all the merchants.
They just hated AFK people.
Everyone would be just murdered on the ground. Yeah. Like it was crazy. It was so fun though. Like, just someone would be like, "Yo, there's a whatever stormy night or whatever it is," just like wandering on Frontera. I don't know. That's the only thing I think of for some reason. Or even like
Stormy Night is the official MVP of this podcast.
Nice.
I'm out. I was.
This podcast was brought to you by Stormy Night. For some reason, I was just about to make a horse noise. For some reason, I don't know why.
You still did it though. Yes,
I don't know if anyone watching this podcast has ever played the Ragnarok Battle Offline game. It's like a fan-made game where you can play like with 3 people. But if you play it, there's a part in the game where I think it's like you're about to fight Stormy Night, and then literally Santa Claus comes out and he just says "fuck you" to you. Like he fingers your party and just says "fuck you."
And then Rudolph turns into Stormy Night. Is that what it is?
Yeah. So Rudolph's sitting there with sunglasses on and a cigarette, and then he just turns into the Stormy Night. Yeah,
it's the most.
That's a fun game though.
Yes,
that's a fun game.
It's so fun to play with
friends.
Another awesome place to hang out. I think it was with me and you, Teji, was going to Castle 2 and just hanging out at Castle 2 in that one place where the mimics spawn.
We sort of would make the little. There's a little cubby in the middle, basically right in the center of the map, where like a little like stairs go down. You're in this tiny little room, and the only thing that normally spawns there is one mimic. So we sort of make that our like base, our like base camp. And we sort of move away from there, and it's just like a nice place to chill because it's like we know that both of us could like easily kill one mimic, right? So it's like we could just chill there And if we wanted to go and, you know, fight some crazy stuff for cards or whatever, then we could.
Yeah,
or we could just chill there or whatever.
Yeah, because like
sometimes like my in-game wife would come and chill with us too.
Yeah.
And we just hang out there, which is kind of fun because like you're in like a badass area, but we found like a safe spot.
But you need that sanctuary. It's kind of like what Graveyard has with the cross in the middle.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah. That was a really fun place to hang out too. Yes. If you were an acolyte, or if you could,
leeching off of other people.
Yeah. Or if you were like partying with one or whatever, it was just a fun place because like everyone there had the same like goal in mind, right? Like everyone is leveling their acolyte. There's like 50 acolytes there. And
kind of feel like it was like a coalition of acolytes.
Yeah, and there was like maybe like one or two merchants just in there like selling like blue pots or fly wings or whatever. It's just sort of like a fun little like. You know,
I remember that there was that one asshole that brings a wraith in there, and then everybody just dies.
But there was always people there to like protect the group. You know?
Yeah,
it's like it was like The Walking Dead. It was like one or two Ricks chilling to like make sure no one dies, and then a bunch of fucking whatever Rick's son's name is.
Carl,
yeah, like 80 Carls and like 2 Ricks just chilling.
I didn't even know you were making a whole thing with Walking Dead. I was like, Ricks. I was like, damn, I'm really rusty with my RO right now. Ricks.
No, I remember there was always like a priest that kind of like patrolled the area.
Yeah, he's like making sure everything's okay.
Yeah. The Rick.
The Rick of the group.
There's a bunch of Carls just hanging around.
Well, I mean, you're fighting zombies, so I thought it was a good analogy.
Prisoners coming at you. Carl, watch out, Carl.
I just want to yell that out in fucking Graveyard. Carl.
And it's Carl.
In that accent too. Yeah. Do you guys have any other places you guys like to hang out?
I have like one other one that I really enjoyed, only because of like the way that I played the game. Like for the large majority of the time that I was playing that game, I was playing as a quote-unquote super swordsman, which is how I always introduce myself on this podcast. Basically what it was the swordsman. I never changed to knight until like way later, and I was like a level 95 swordsman. And I would go to this one area that I thought was really fun. It was really busy. It's the area to north of Frontera where the Archeopes spawn.
Oh yeah.
There's
an angel there.
And it was an area where it was usually mages and archers would go to level up. And as a swordsman, I would go there just to like fuck with people's minds, because like they'd be like, "Oh my god, what is a swordsman even doing here?" And I would go there, and then I just like sort of walk up to them and be like, and like act like a noob, just to like fuck with them. And they'd be like, you know, you can't kill these things, right? And like a worm would or an Archeope would like come up to me, and I'd just like sort of stand there, and it would just like miss. And like the mages, they were like, "What the fuck? What the fuck is happening? Like, who is? What the fuck?" And then I'd be like, is this like a strong monster? And they'd be like, what? And then I would like let them kill it to like get EXP and shit, and I'd just be like, yeah, it's no problem. It's just an Archeope. Like, don't worry about it. You know, it's, because it was like
you just wanted that self-gratification.
Yeah, because like they had like no idea that I was like level 95. Right? It was just like the funnest thing.
There's always that like when you're a super swordsman, and there's always that like that thing behind the curtain kind of type thing where you're like, I'm actually 95
because like,
but nobody really actually
there's like no way to check someone's level, right?
Yeah.
So
that actually reminds me of hanging out at Elder Willows when I was an archer, which was a really big thing because like we used to have this little ledge that went across, and every archer was up there. Even mages were there.
Yeah.
To kill the Elder Willows. Just sniping them from.
Basically,
from
you went
top.
from Elder Willows to Archeopes, or get Hodes maybe in the middle. Those like, yeah.
Phallic looking things.
Yes, exactly. White phallic.
How about you, Gandalf? Do you have any other places you like to hang out with? Or hang out with?
Hang out with, yes.
You have places you want to hang out with?
Frontera are always hanging out together.
Yeah, Frontera's my
Frontera was my bitch.
Yeah, no, not really. Like I said, Frontera was the shit. I remember Marok just because when I had my assassin.
I feel like Marok was the least loved.
It was.
Of all.
You know what? Because it was like in the most random place, and it was just like.
Fucking, so far away.
It was just random, just like a sandy like desert.
Yeah.
It was a very happy place, and the music was just kind of like.
Yeah.
Which you also hear
and no one would
podcast.
hang out there though. Like I bet you if all the big
no
guilds hung out there, then it would turn into something. But it's just like, why would we ever want to hang out there?
But I feel like
there's nothing there.
Yeah.
But I also feel like when you go into a game, everybody wants to hang out with the most populated place, the most central place.
The
which
capital
is Frontera,
city,
yeah,
right?
which is
capital.
Frontera.
So
If Islud was that, then everybody would be flocking to Islud.
I liked Islud as well for PvP.
It was because it was the smallest.
Yeah,
It's the smallest place.
Yeah.
Nobody can hide in Islud.
After like the huge wave of when PvP started, is like Frontier was like really popular, blah blah, and then Islud was like the place to go. Everyone hung out in Islud.
Yeah. No, Islud was like a place where it was also a niche place too. Like not a lot of people. Or
Like in the
niche place, nobody
beyond
actually wanted to
PvP,
go.
like the regular Islud, yeah, not too many people, but it was a pretty chill place as well.
Geffen was a really popular place for a lot of people too.
Oh, Geffen was nice too. If you were into
Blacksmithing.
Yeah.
Blacksmithing was a big
in that
thing
game.
there.
Yeah, that was a cool place to hang out because it was just.
I always went there for like embers or whatever they were called, and like what are they called? Wild gusts or something like that.
Oh,
Those,
the
little balls.
Wind of Vendir. Or
Yeah,
whatever?
exactly,
Yeah.
like those kind of things.
Wind of
Vendir or whatever? Yeah,
Virtue,
yeah, something like that.
Yeah,
the little golden balls.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you go like that kind of stuff, and people are always upgrading your shit, or people that already have so much shit upgraded, they're always kind of like there. There's always 10 or 15 blacksmith there.
I'm not sure why Geffen was the hub for that, but it certainly was. It was just like every
It's my
blacksmith,
hometown.
every
It's your
blacksmith
hometown, yeah.
that
Represent.
was somebody. Every blacksmith that was somebody was there, and it was just constant that sound, the ding 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 ding.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
dude, don't even
It
get
was
me
just
started
like,
on that
Okay,
sound.
well, you know what? Prontera was
It's one of the most
usually
satisfying sounds in that game.
middle of Prontera, the right shop. Like
where
when
you
Yeah.
upgrade stuff.
yeah, that was super busy.
It's not really a place to hang out.
No, it wasn't a hang, but now they get.
It was the
bringing
main
up
place to like
upgrading.
upgrade
Yeah.
the stuff.
Yeah,
But
I think that's
isn't
where I got
the
my
Geffen-
level 10
is it-
wand from there.
Doesn't
That's,
the Geffen place have the Blacksmith Guild? Isn't that where it is? I can't remember. where
I
the
know
Blacksmith-
the wizards ones are there.
No, blacks.
Yeah, the wizard one. The mage and the wizard one is there.
I knew you changed to merchant in
Alberta,
Alberta.
which is probably the most.
That
I'm not gonna
no
lie, the
one
most
even-
useless town I've ever fucking been
It
to.
was so off the map. It was
Yeah.
nowhere.
Yeah.
Like you would never go there. Like
Ever.
before they put
They
Turtle
try to
Island-
make it relevant. They
before they
try.
put Turtle Island on there.
Yeah.
There was absolutely no reason to go there.
That's the thing. They
No one
try.
even knew how to get there.
Yeah, I know.
That's the thing. They try to make it relevant. They wanted people to visit that town, so they put Turtle Island.
Well, thank God they
And
did
all-
it that
yeah.
way, right?
No, that's a lot of MMOs and stuff will want to do that, right? They want to make their most random
spread
place.
the traffic out to the whole server.
No, Alberta was the only reason I went there was probably for Turtle Island when it came out,
And to make it
or to make a merchant. Because I think every person
Had a merchant.
had a merchant.
Every single
Had to have a merchant.
everyone
Discount
had a merchant.
10, vendor 10, or overcharge 10.
Overcharge 10
Yeah.
and vendor at least like 3 or 4 or 5.
Yeah.
7 at least.
Just to sell shit.
Depends on what you have.
Oh well, I mean, higher levels you always have something to sell. Usually, mine. I only went up
Yeah,
to
but
7.
No, but no, that just depends on slots. That's
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
point, right? Like, it
Well,
just
that's what
gives
I'm
you more
saying.
slots.
Yeah.
Unless
I always had shit.
You were
to
very
sell.
lucky and you got like cards up the ass, which never happened to me. I think my entire tenure of that game, I got maybe
You know
about
what's-
7 cards.
You know what's
And I
really
played that
funny
game for a good 5-6 years.
about that is, so before I left, I gave away like everything just because I was like, you know what, I don't want to come back. I just want to leave my legacy and that's it. So I gave away like everything.
And
Right?
it doesn't make you come back to the game.
Exactly, because obviously if I had all my stuff, then I'd come back. But so anyways, so I came back and I kept all my useless cards, and now back then they're worth nothing. Now I had like 3 or 4 archer skeleton cards, and they're worth like 9 mil each.
When we came back to the game.
I was like,
last
like
year,
and I was like
year.
and I was like, what the fuck?
We came back to the game and it was very grim.
all my
Gremlins.
worthless garbage cards and like gears were worth something.
But I feel
And
like the
was
economy
what
went
the
up with
fuck?
it though. Everything on the fucking server
Like it's
was
ridiculous.
like
Like
50 mil or
inflation's
60
like
mil, yeah.
like in the game and shit.
Yeah, it's like times 20.
It literally is, because back in the day, if you had like 100 million zenny, you were like boss.
Yeah.
Now you need like 1 billion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's like about like what, a decade later, right? So like inflation's like legit.
Inflation went rampant.
Yeah,
in that place.
Yeah, Donald Trump took over.
Okay, so for summarizing, so Teishi, what's your favorite place to hang out?
I would say Aldebaran.
Yeah, the clock tower.
Yeah.
Gandalf, what's your favorite place?
Left
wing.
like lower left wing of Flower Girl.
The Flower Girl area. That was one of my
favorite.
favorite places too.
Yeah.
That was one of my favorite places.
That or PvP, but I'm gonna stick with Frontier because that was what the guild were.
I'm gonna have to go with 1 South of Frontera, just right at the entrance area. My favorite place to hang out. One of the best. So that's it for us.
Yeah, all right, just thanks for listening.
Thank you for listening. Like, subscribe, share, all this kind of stuff. Listen to our previous podcasts.
And if you have any topics that you want us to talk about, please leave them in the comments. We do have Reddit posts where we upload our links to the podcast, but we don't check those as often as we do for the YouTube, just because it's easier for us than going through pages and pages of Reddit posts and all that. But if you have any topics or anything you want to say to us, please leave them in the comments, and we'll definitely get back to you.
Yeah, we'll get to the fan topics at some point. So far, it's been a pretty well received podcast, so we're gonna keep doing it. We're gonna keep producing it. Just give us feedback and all that kind of stuff. Like, subscribe, share, all that kind of stuff. Thank you for listening. We'll see you guys next time. Oh yeah, I guess outros.
I was Teishi, the super swordsman.
I am Gandalf the White from Wild Place.
Did you say you were before?
That's what he said.
Oh,
he's like, I was.
I was.
I am. I got a tattoo on my back. No, I'm just joking.
Tramstamp.
Little wizard on my bottom of my back. Gandalf. I'm
Hikoto from Age of Apocalypse, and thank you for listening. We'll see you guys next time.
Peace.